Welcome to SpawnCampGames. Today we're going to make a flashlight. So let's just go in here, create a folder. We're just going to call this flashlight. Going to open that up. We're going to create a material. We're going to call the material on, duplicate it. We're going to call this material off, duplicate it. We're going to call this material flashlight. Alright, let's go to our flashlight. Let's pick a just nice gray color. We'll go to off. We're going to pick a yellow. We're going to go to on and also pick a yellow. Except for the on, we're going to check the emission. Change that to a brighter yellow. Crank the intensity up to around 2. Close that. Alright, we're done with the materials. Let's go to the hierarchy, create empty. We're going to reset the transform so it's zeroed out. We're going to just call this flashlight. Create an empty under that. We're going to call this on. We're going to duplicate that empty. We're going to call this off. So let's go back into our flashlight. We're going to create a new 3D cylinder. Let's bring it up. Slap our material on it. Zoom in so we can see it. Duplicate that cylinder. Bring it up. Scale it out just a bit. Scale it down. Position it. Let's go back into our on. We're going to create a sphere for this one. Bring this up. Scale it out. We're going to put our on material on it. So now we need another one for the off. So let's duplicate it. Bring it down to off. We're going to switch its material out for the off material. Now let's start with the script. So we're going to add component, flashlight, flashlight. Reopen that for Visual Studio. At the top, we're going to need 3 variables. We're going to use a public game object. We're just going to call this on. We're going to use a public game object. We're going to call this off. And then we're going to use a private boolean called isOn. So in the start function, we need on to be off. We need off to be on. And we need our boolean to be false. So on our update, we'll get some input. So we'll say if input.getKey down, and we'll just use the space key. What we want it to do is to toggle our flashlight. So isOn is equal to not isOn. So now for our logic, we'll say if it's on, we need to set it to false. Set off to true. So now under it, we need the same thing, but the inverse. So we'll say if it's not on, then we'll make it on. We'll make sure to turn the off object to false. Let's go back in here. I just remembered that I didn't put a light on the flashlight, so let's go into on. We'll create a new light, spotlight. Let's get where we can see it. We'll rotate it up. We'll bring it to the top where the bulb would be. Let's increase the spot angle, and we'll increase the range and the intensity just a bit. So now we have that set up. We can go back to our flashlight object, and on the script, we're going to drag on into the on spot. Drag off into the off spot. Now our flashlight's basically done. So let's get it where it'll rotate and move with our player. So I already have a player, so we'll just rotate this and bring him back to the player. So position it around a little bit. And that looks fine for a demo. We'll go into our player to where my camera is. We'll slap the flashlight under the camera so it follows the movement. We're going to decrease the intensity of the light so we can see what's happening. We'll hit play, and voila, we have a flashlight.